G'day, it's Brak the War Boss here, and celebrating 200 videos. Wow, it's really exciting. I'm so excited. It's been quite a lot of videos. Most of them have been fun. I hope you've been enjoying them. There's still a lot of people around sort of watching them, so that's something, I suppose.
Fingers crossed.
Congratulations to me, and probably congratulations to you for watching this garbage. What I thought we'd do to celebrate this 200 videos is do an old-fashioned Q&A. But if you read the thumbnail, you probably knew that already. So let's go and start with the questions. Okay, let's have a look at the questions from YouTube. Going to start off with Mostly Zen. Is there a squig so big that Mork himself cannot eat? I wouldn't think so. Mork likes a challenge, and he's more cunning than brutal, so he's probably devised a clever way to cut it up. I'd have to give that no. Next question. Great Grot. Will you be comparing the clans now the new codex has been released? Love to hear your thoughts and which one has come up tops. Yeah, I will. I will be doing this, but a little bit later. It probably won't be until after I get the codex myself, and then I'll go through and I will probably rehash the best Warhammer series, the one I did ages ago. Look, I'll put a link up. Ding, there's a thing. If you want to see what I did last time. And I'll probably follow the same format and see if we come up with a different result. I suspect we will. Alright, the Pale Orc. Who is your favourite 5 Warhammer YouTubers currently, and why is one the Pale Orc? The Pale Orc does videos? I thought he stopped. Yeah, nah. Pale took a bit of time off. He's sort of doing it a little bit at a time. He has other commitments, as that he tells me offline. Although I suspect the real reason was that, if you might remember, the beginning of this, I challenged him to see who was going to get to 1,000 first. And I think he's realised I'm going to get there, so I think he's just slinking away because I scared the bejesus out of him. I'm not going to include Pale in the 5 YouTubers that I'm currently watching that I really, really like. Alright, now the 5 that I have chosen are the ones that I am still currently watching. When their video comes up, they're my first go-to to see what they're doing. I'm going to start off with 6 Plus Stevo. Still love his content, still want to watch it all. I try and do similar things. He is my inspiration for doing this channel. He's the one that got me into it after a few chats with him. So I do owe Stevo a lot of thanks for helping. Yeah, kudos for Stevo, and he's helped me offline a couple of times, and I probably still wouldn't be doing this without his support today, 200 videos later. The other go-to person at the moment has to be the Drunken Orc. He did some fantastic stuff when all the news was coming out. Those pathetic newsreels were just fantastic and sublime. Go and check him out. I will be putting links to these guys down below, these people below. Sorry, they might not all be guys, so you can check it out. Definitely the Drunken Orc. Do yourself a favour, check him out. Well worth it. Has a fantastic turn of phrase, quite comical, and not only that, he does some really great kit bashes and excellent paint jobs as well. So yeah, so you get good models, great conversation, and a little bit of a laugh from time to time. It's sort of what you want in a channel. And in the similar vein, I would go with Essex Boys, good old Clint. Yeah, love his work. He's been putting out, say, 1 or 2 things a month at the moment. So I also believe that he's got work commitments. Why you'd want to watch him is because he does some kick-ass conversions, some great terrain, and fantastic editing. Really, really good. So that's 3 now, isn't it? The 4th person, who else would it be? It has to be Seth the Mad Dog. He is probably my one go-to guy for tactics. At first, I didn't think much of what I was watching about a year ago. But he's sort of grown. I think the videos have got better. He's explaining himself a lot better. He's an orc player, whereas a lot of the other tactical people aren't orc players first. They tend to focus too much on the math hammer, whereas he goes out there, he plays it, he plays orcs, he knows orcs well, and he tests them. So definitely check out his stuff. I think he's got some great insights. A little bit too focused on getting the perfect list, but it's a tactical channel, so yeah, you expect that sort of stuff. Number 5 is a bit of an oddity. It's someone, well, it's not strictly an orc channel, but there's some very interesting orc content on there. It's Norman, who does lore. I've been really getting into his series with orcs discussing various philosophers. Yeah, this is some funny, clever, thinky stuff. It's great. Definitely check him out. You probably already know about him, but really, really enjoying it at the moment. And I'm watching everything that he does that is orky. So there you go, pal. I hope that answered the question for you. CM Wargames. So that's Richard. So what clan will be your go-to with the new codex? That's his first question. It's, look, deathskulls. I know that deathskulls have hit the nerf bat, and they're not as strong as they used to be. Yeah, we don't get all the rerolls, and it's a little disappointing. We don't get the 6-up invulnerable save. Instead, we get a 5-up invulnerable save against mortal wounds. It's going to be situational, but really a lot of mortal wounds out there, and they're going to, and most people, when they try to hit you with mortal wounds, are going for your biggest threats. That way, you know, you can protect your good stuff a lot better, whereas some of the other stuff. And really, if you are missing the 6-up invul save, just put some beast snaggers in your list. But what they haven't changed, and what was the rule that I didn't want them to change, is objective secured, of course. And that's the main reason. Well, it's the main game reason why I'm going to stick with deathskulls. Started off being a deathskulls player. I will always continue to be a deathskulls player, and I think that with the ramshackle rules, trucks and vehicles and smaller units are going to be better in this game, and it is an objective game, so you need lots of smaller units to try and keep them down, and skulls will do that for me. And it also suits my playstyle, and they're blue. I like blue. If I'm going out playing a game and even going to a competition, I'll probably still take deathskulls. Richard's second question, I'm going to read what he wrote. What's your all-time favourite orc mode? He may have meant model, or he could have meant mode. It's very hard to tell. So I'm going to answer both of those questions. So first up, what's your favourite orc mode? I'm an orc. I like to crump. So it's crump, 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 crump. We's orcs and we's got a crump. And what's my all-time favourite orc model? Well, someone else has actually asked that question as well, so I'm going to answer that a little later. Marcos Castellanos. Marcus has asked, with the new models coming out, what model has not been announced that would you like to see GW release next? That's a really, really hard one, because I really think we've got a lot at the moment. We've got so much new stuff. Is there anything missing? I'm not quite sure. Some would say better grots, but there are grots, they're just not doing what we want. We're getting new deathskulls units. We're getting new commando units. Getting a war boss with mega armor. Getting lots of stuff there. If there would be anything, look, I would like to see maybe a different type of grot. Maybe a more melee type grot. People keep saying grot snipers would be fun, and that would be good. Grot HQ would be nice. Personally can't see it because I think GW don't seem to like grots at the moment, do they? Yeah, I think I'd like to see grots get a better treatment with some new grots, and maybe a grot HQ. Not a character, a standard grot HQ of some sort. Commandant Grot for the Grot Rebellion. Casey Bear, do you have a memorable game moment, like where something crazy happened that shouldn't have been possible? Yes, I do. I was at a competition at Games Workshop. Probably would have been about my 3rd year playing, long time ago. So I can't really recall the list. But I do know it had the shock attack gun, the big mech with the shock attack gun. Loved the shock attack gun. Still do. So in my second game, I come up against this guy. He played Chaos Space Marines. It was a corn-flavoured army, and it had 3 units. One was this character whose name I cannot remember, but he's meant to be fantastic and brutal and all this stuff. Gave lots and lots of buffs. This guy was so excited about it. And he had 2 lots of corn berserkers. Now I really can't remember exactly how much, but it was 750 points worth. The problem was he put them too close together out in the open, and we rolled off. I went first. I rolled, got a double 6, put the template over the character, and the template covered all the units. Then I rolled again, got a hit. So we had to remove everything off. So I won the game in 2 rolls. It was good for me because I won. He didn't like it. He tried to fight it. We actually had to get the guy out. We had to get the TO over, and he had to settle him down and convince him that he had lost. He wasn't happy. But what I said that we'd do is that we'll play another game, just so that we can sort of keep going, because he's won a game. We want to test his new list out. And I said, all right, let's do it again. Do it again, but just for fun. Then in the second game, he learnt his lesson. He spread things up, and he hit the boss. But I got to roll first, didn't I? And I just said, what the heck? I'm still going to do it again, because it was always my gameplay was to fire the shock attack gun first, and I always did that. And so I got it out, and what would happen? You wouldn't believe it. I rolled a double 1, didn't I? So what does a double 1 do? I had to take me big mech off. He laughed. We all laughed. It was funny. And then we had to I just had to play proper and had to play sneaky and try and get the stuff. It was from then on, it was a hard game. Those corn berserkers were just tough. And so at least the looters helped bring them down. But I think we got a draw out of that one. But to be quite honest, I can't remember, because it wasn't the important thing I had to remember. I think it was a draw. I think it was. Anyway, so that was that. There are other. I think that's the most memorable moment, because just rolling the dice with that one unit. Got two complete different results and extreme results. You know, most of the time when you roll that, you still get a 7 and everything's strength 7, and that's okay. And you sort of, and it was so wild, it was never hit. You know, but it was fun. Now, Voodoo Fairy, he's sort of similar to what Richard from CM War Games did. What's your favourite model you have built and painted? Got a few. I do have a few, but I think my one that I really like the most has to be this guy. It's a Gear Guts Mark II. I got this from my Secret Santa present, and I absolutely love him. He was a pleasure to paint, and I think it's one of the best paint jobs that I have done. I haven't yet to play him. I will probably play him as Gazgul because he's that big. He's not really. And I did call this fellow Brak Skull Mordaka. So we've got Brak. So there's my Brak Gear Guts model that I like to use. So I think the story is that this is Brak, and then when he gets bigger and better and badder and wins things, he turns into Brak Skull Mordaka. Beautiful model. Pleasure to paint. And another Gear Guts model which I loved painting. Another recent one is a Daz Capital. He's the fleet ship or Grot Mega Tank for my Grot Rebellion army. So yeah, two Gear Guts models are happening. My favourite at the moment. Don't get me wrong, I still like painting Games Workshop. I've just been getting into Gear Guts. I'm also an affiliate member at the moment, so it's probably a good time to put a little plug in. If you want 5% off all your Gear Guts models, go and check out. Use the code BRAK.WARBOSS. I'm sure it'll come up on the screen right about now. So there you go. Now that I've got the cheeky plug out of the way, I'll show my third favourite model. It's become just an excuse for me to show off models, isn't it? It's kind of less of more of a showcase. And this is recent. This is really recent. This is like just, I finished this probably 2 days ago. And it's a bomb squig. It's a scratch build that I did. I'll probably do a video about this. But I did this for a competition which Emma from Dyson Demons and Gobbo Girl are doing over on Instagram. There's links. There's going to be links below. There's going to be so many links in the description below. And that's what I did. So he's fun. Loved him. Love him to bits. I'm really proud of this. Okay, Carl Finch. Well done, buddy. Thank you very much. My question, what is your favourite current orc kit? And which one are you looking forward to the most in the new range? And keep up the good work, mate. Well, thank you for those kind words. Ooh, there's so many at the moment. I do think I'm gonna fall back on an old favourite. There's always been a favourite of mine. I try to make these things good again. It's got to be the truck. So versatile. There's so many things you can do with it. I think 9, I've mentioned before. I think 9 is going to be good for trucks. You can put all your goodies in it, especially for deathskulls player. And this one. I think, yeah, I rate them well. Love the kit. There's so many extra bits that you can do for kit bashing, and I think playability is going to be great. It was the second part of that question, wasn't it? And which one I'm looking forward to from the new range? I like the Beast Snaggers. I like the aesthetic. I don't mind the War Pig approach. I like that comical look to them. I think I need to get myself some of the Squig Hog boys. I really like those, and I just want to get my hands on and paint them. That's what I'm looking forward to the most. I know there are Morzag, everyone's raving about him, and the knob on the squid. Yeah, on the squig, the knob on the squig. I can't think what he's called at the moment, but you know the one I'm talking about. People liking him, but I think the Squig Hog Boys is something I'm really looking forward to. Oh, and also Commandos, but that's another story. Now, this question is the last question from the YouTube. It's from Joshua Payne. There's 2 questions here. It is the most important question. Why did you stop the "Hi, I'm Brak"? I'm Brak. A little while ago, I changed my format. I did an intro video, and I just thought that it didn't fit. So I've gone into the intro, then I've gone to the main body, and then gone straight into it without doing that. Hello, this is Brak here. La-di-da-da. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and that's coming up next. So I just streamlined it, and I just found out that it didn't fit. But a few people have been asking me for it. I may bring it back soon. What I am going to do, I'm actually going to put it out there to the community. So, if you're watching, do you prefer the "Hi, I'm Brak," or do you like the new tag I have is "G'day, it's Brak the War Boss here"? Or would you prefer both? Put your answers below. Let's have a conversation. I'd like to know. I might put that out to the community proper as well, and we'll go on from there. Expect it popping up from time to time. Whether it's permanent or not, I don't know. I like to mix these things up. Hobby related, which of your crazy builds for the challenges are you most looking forward to fielding on the table? Well, it has to be my shock jump floatster. Now, I love him. He actually looks like a model that someone would make for a game. Which is good, because some of my previous attempts at trying Scratch just didn't work, and I did some pretty bizarre stuff. The first couple, the death, I think I tried doing the kill chopper, and that was ugly. Did another buggy, it didn't work, but I was just using it as an excuse to teach myself how to do it. Now, both those models have been salvaged, like a good deathskulls. I've looted them, ripped them off to bits, and put them on, and so I can use them for future projects. Even that strange little flying can thing I did, I'll throw up a picture, because I ripped that apart and it used part of the can. Now the back part actually is the can that is on this little thing, which I will probably play a bubble chucker. The rules got better, so I'll probably use them. So they're the two. Come on. This has definitely turned into a show and tell, hasn't it? Just need to take a moment out to have a sip of coffee. I'm a little bit thirsty at the moment. Oh, that was nice. Let's get back to it. All right, the next couple of questions are from my Discord server, which is known as the Breakfast Club. Not a lot of people ask questions, but there's quite a few questions. There's some multiples. So first up, we have Poke Cactus. And he's got 3 questions. The first is, why orcs? Why not? Why not orcs? Really, what do you got? You've got asexual, non-gendered, genetically engineered mushrooms, the most ferocious fighters there are. It's got me sold. Space mushrooms. Fighty space mushrooms. What's not to love? Favourite thing about the hobby? It's the hobby itself. It's also got to be, what really gets me going is the 40k orc community Discord. That has to be at the moment one of my favourite places to go. I've met some fantastic people there. There's some really nice people there, and who are willing to help out And since I have joined in the conversation, asking questions, my hobby has improved. I've learnt so much from that group, especially in the chat. I'm more of a chatter than a writer contributor. It's just the way I like to do things. And I've learned so much. Great friendships, good bunch of people. And if you're watching and you haven't joined, go and check out the 40k Orc Community Discord. There will be a link below in the description. And favourite memory involving anything 40k. Well, I did talk about my most bizarre moment, but I'm not quite sure, really. Technically not 40k. I remember one day when I was during the height of my depression, I had to get out of the house, and I just thought I'd wander. I just go and force me, so I hadn't been out of the house for days. And I went down to the local games workshop place, and I did bring a game to hope to get a game, but I didn't realise that they had their one of their big APOC games going. So I thought I'd walk into the back as it was going on, because I wasn't going to get much of a game going in. And it's a good mate of mine called Adam, who I've met through the hobby. He's a Dark Angels player, and he was playing the game by himself. And he said, "Would you like to help me out?" And I went, "Yeah, why not?" I did Dark Angels, so I just got in and helped me mate out. Played around. He was doing the game. I was just pushing models around, maybe throwing the odd piece of dice. Helped him out, and it was one of the best days. I only played for one game. I was in the middle of my depression, and so it became a little bit overwhelming. So I played one game. So I was there for about 4 hours, had lunch with the fellas and said, "Look, I'm sorry, mate, I'm going to have to go home." And he said, "No worries." And unfortunately, I had something to do the next day, so I couldn't do on. But yeah, that was probably one of my favourite memories. Was that, how I used just a chance moment, something to do, walked in, and it helped me fight the black dog. It's a bit serious, isn't it? Okay, Dakar Flacker Flame has 3 questions. Favourite mini you've built and or painted? Show you again. Here he is. Brak Skull Mordaka, Gear Guts model. Remember, go to gearguts.com, put in the code Brak the Warboss, and you get 5% off. Dakar Flacker Flame is a great name. I just love how that sounds. Also asks, any interest in AOS or the old world? No, not really. Next question is, if you could add 1 orc unit to the range, what would it be? We've had a similar question. And yeah, I think Grots. I'm still going with the Grots. I'd like to see them do models and more make a rule set for Super Grots, make them a little bit better. The Grot kit needs to be updated regardless, but why not? A good opportunity to add some extra things like Super Grots, maybe fighting Grots. It'd be nice to have a melee weapon that works, not just that Grot blaster. And then why not have sniper Grots? Okay, just so good there. With his question, it's a bit of a thinky one, this one. If a woodchuck could chuck wood, how much Dakar would he need? Now, when it comes to the questions relating Dakar, there's only one answer. And it doesn't matter how much Dakar he'd need, it would never be enough. Because you can never have too much Dakar. And if you are in need of more Dakar, there's only one place to go, and that is Dakar R Us.
Dakar R Us, where too much Dakar is never enough.
Alright, now to the Facebook pages and groups. Now, Benjamin Lolma, he was asked a question on the Brak the Warboss's page. Do you consider a hot dog on a bun to be a sandwich? No, that's a hot dog. A sausage in a bun is a hot dog. No matter what sauce you put on it, it's a hot dog. If you want a sausage and a sandwich, that's something different. You need a nice barbecue sausage. You're going to place it on your on one slice of white bread with onion and a bit of sauce. And we don't really call that a sandwich here. That's a sausage sizzle. And that's the only way to eat bread and sausages. And another question he's got is, do you consider cereal to be soup? If it was soup, it'd be called soup, not cereal. So thanks for that question, Benjamin, I think. All right, unfortunately, there was no interest on the 40k Orc community page. A little sad. Is the Idec Beers Wargamers Unification group. I asked the question there, and we got 3 responses. And these are the last 3 questions. The first question is from Gar Zitsky. May I make Gar? Nearly forgot this, mate, so here it is. What do you like the most about being a content creator? There's a lot of things I like about it. And it's going to sound a bit silly. It's the creating content. And I love the editing. They're the technical things I like about it. Trying to come up with new things to do, perfecting the craft, so to speak. It's one of I really, really like that. That's the sort of the technical side of things, but also being a YouTuber got me out of a slump. Now, COVID was happening. The economy wasn't working too well in Australia beforehand, and I was having to do a lot of hard work for little game to try and flog my business out to other small businesses. I used to offer research services, and it was becoming a really hard graft to get customers. COVID came and small businesses just fell apart. They just closed doors. The services that I was offering were boutique and high-end. I was charging a pretty penny for a good high-end service, and rightly so, people couldn't afford. So I stuck around for about 4 months trying to get it out there. No luck. I was thinking, I thought, what can I do? I've got to do something different. So I decided to have a go to see if doing YouTube would give me new skills that I could market to be a film editor. I thought that would be the way to go. I still have my business brain on. And so I tried to do that part-time, and in between, while still trying to flog me wares as a researcher. Looking for jobs, no jobs out there, market was flat, and then at the end of the financial year, I decided, gave away the business and concentrated on this full time and really learning how to do this. And lo and behold, I like doing it. I am fortunate enough, family circumstances means that I can spend time on this without actually having to worry about sort of looking for work that really isn't there for various reasons. I really don't want to do it. And people don't want to hear whingy stories. So I suppose the thing I like about being a content creator is that it pulled me out of a slump. Same with the hobby, the 40k Orc community Discord group, just the hobby itself. To me, it's the same thing. The YouTube is just another extension of this hobby that I love, which is 40k Orcs. I hope you enjoyed that question, Gar. Okay, Angus Montour. Also forgot until your reminder, what aspect of your gaming experience would you most want to improve upon? i.e. painting, content creating, rolling more sixes when needed, actually being able to travel and connect with distant gamers, etc. Very open question that can go in so many ways. Well, the short answer to that question is yes. The long is I have to improve in everything. You know, I'm not the best painter. I'm not the best player. I haven't played for a long time. I have got so much to learn. I'm enjoying modeling, my content creating, like falling in things like graphic design. I have to learn to speak a lot better. I've got to do less ums and ahs, and at the moment I've got to stop coughing. I think I'm getting pretty good at my editing because you're not seeing all the coughs and all the ums and ahs, and so that's good. I have to improve in all cases, and this hobby and the YouTube is all about improvement. Will I become the next best YouTuber who's the perfect at it? Probably not. Will I become better in 5 years and have a good following? Yeah, of course I will. I think each video that I do, I get better. Just being able to travel and connect with distant gamers, yes. Yeah, I haven't been out and played a lot, and the last time I tried to hook up a game with a local mate, I got sick, so I couldn't go, and I've got to wait till the next school holidays because it's a teacher, and hopefully I'll have a codex to play so I can play new codex with him. One can hope. Distant gamers, the Pale Orc and I have said that we'd like to get together and have a game one day. We're just going to have to work on that a little bit later. It's going to happen. I would love to go overseas and catch up with some of the wonderful people I've met. See if I could play games there. I'd like doing a Brak Worlds tour. Sounds like fun. Will it happen? I can't see it happening at the moment, but it's nice to dream. It's lovely to dream. It may happen, and until I can actually get better at my craft, get more subscribers, get more people on Patreon, so links below in the description, more people buying me coffees, and then get more people getting the affiliate links, getting more money in and making a bit more money out of this, then I might be able to get on a plane. Hopefully COVID will be gone, but will be a distant memory by then, and hopefully I won't be too old. Or maybe I will be. Maybe I'll be old enough I can get discount travel because I'm a senior. That might be fun. Grandad Brak goes abroad. I can shake my fists at the sun and shake my fists at all the young folks and swear a lot. Boomer Brak. No, I'm going off topic there. I hope that answered your questions, Angus. Alright, the last question, and I've kept this one for last because it hints at the future. And it's from me mate, Sydney the Drunken Orc. And here's mine, mate. Will you ever have enough orcs to start and collect another faction, or will you keep on adding to your war? Now I'm going to break that down a bit. I do have another faction, like I've mentioned before. I have Dark Angels, Ravenwing and Deathwing, and a bit of Greenwing. Put them aside. I'm not really fussed with them at the moment. I know they're reasonably good, but I'm an orc channel. I want to focus on orcs. I love orcs, and if I ever get back into it, I'll probably concentrate on them first before I go on a new faction. I can't see me doing another new faction, although Gene Stealer Cult has always taken my fancy. But I like the models, and I like the fluff, and I thought they would be fun. And if I would go into another faction, it's going to be for hobby reasons over gaming reasons. In the foreseeable future, I'm going to keep adding to the war. Now, last count, I've got about 7,044 points of deathskulls. 274 models. I have got boxes and boxes of models that are either been painted in old colours that might need a new paint, which I've decided to I'll touch them up. And I've got a lot of unpainted models too, which is probably, if I was to hazard a guess, there'd be 1,000 or 2,000 a point there. So I've got to do that. And I'm also buying more stuff as they come in. I think the first lot of beast snaggers that I buy, I'm going to add and paint blue. Got to keep on going with the war. So that was the last question. I want to thank each and every one for all those wonderful questions. I hope you stuck around and watching. I've had a great time. This has been fun. What's going to happen in the future? I've got a few more things coming up. I've got some going to talk about the codex coming up. I think the next video you might see from me is some of my thoughts about the new codex, and then I want to talk about how the deathskulls work. I think I'm going to do something about squigs coming up soon, and I am going to showcase very, very soon, within the next 4 or 5 videos, I'm going to re-show all my deathskulls and have a look at that. So there'll probably be a bit of a big one. So that's what's coming up. I want to try and do more news. I'd like to get and do battle reports. I've been saying I want to do battle reports, so I'll have to try and work out how to do that and really concentrate on it. I still haven't finished doing terrain for that, so I put that aside for some reason and just concentrating on models. Got lots of models coming in shortly. I'm going to be having, I've bought a whole lot of Gear Gut stuff. I've got 3 vehicles and a war boss coming very soon. Got to get my hands on some Brak squig buggies, and as soon as the new stuff comes, I'll be buying beast snaggers, enhanced commandos, so lots more interesting stuff to showcase paints. And then of course there's the 40k orc community stuff that's going on. Keep doing the showcases. That's all that's coming up, except for this month I won't be doing the showcase video because they're doing a writing challenge, and I'm not going to get involved because I could do all the rest. I'm going to let other people sort of concentrate on that one, and then when we get back into the models, I'll go back and do the showcases normal. Secret project coming up. You heard it here first on Brak the War Boss. Alright, so I thanked everybody. I want to thank you all for thank you the viewers, because really if it wasn't for you guys watching it, liking, subscribing and sharing, getting those algorithms up and running, I probably still wouldn't be doing this thing. It inspire me to get out of bed, have me a cup of coffee and plan better videos. So really I need to thank you all. And what I'm going to do right now, because this is premiered, I'm now going to go over to my Discord server, the Breakfast Club, and I'm going to be there. So if you want to continue the conversation, I can do a bit of hobby. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do just yet. Hopefully I'll have something to paint, or I'll just chat. I've got some basing to do, and I'll do that and we'll have a chat. So go over to the Breakfast Club server. There will be an invite below, and if I've done it right, hopefully there'll be something come up in the chat right now. Thank you all very much. To quote a famous Australian boxer, I love yous all, and remember, if you going crumpin', you gotta bash early and bash often. Okay, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please like, subscribe and share. Do all the algorithmic things. And if you would like to help me out financially, there's always Buy Me a Coffee and Patreon. The links are in the description. Okay, time to toddle off. So remember, if you're going crumpin', you've got to bash early and bash often.